Well, speaking of his team, we're going to start on the AFC side here. Patriots, Broncos. The Patriots, depending on what line you're getting, it sounds like some money may be coming in on Denver. I got it at 5.5. Sounds like it could be coming down to 4.5. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I think everybody has come out and said, "Oh my God, the Patriots have the easiest road for the AFC playoffs. They had to face the Chargers with no offensive line. They had to play the Texans without Nico Collins, and Dalton Schultz gets hurt early, and now they're gonna play the Broncos without Bo Nix." I and I don't say this to offend Bo Nix because I just praised him. But I think there's a world out there where there's not that big of a drop off between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham. And I think Sean Payton is going to use all this noise around the Broncos can't win without Jarrett Stidham as bulletin board material this week. I think Sean's going to scheme things up early. I think he's going to get some easy completions. I think they're going to get Jarrett Stidham going early in this game. I do not think this is a blowout. I am picking New England to win the game. But I will not be shocked if by 6:30 Sunday night, the Denver Broncos, are representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you a question that you should be very familiar with as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Don't the Patriots have experience going against a backup quarterback?
They do, and I've seen a lot of people compare these situations. To me, the difference is Nick Foles played, what was it, the final 2-3 games in the regular season, as well as a playoff game before the NFC Championship. Whereas with Jarrett Stidham, this is like his first live snaps, I believe, in 3 years.
Right. So, no, I'm not trying to compare the situations. I just felt like it was an appropriate question to ask. But
that was also a different regime.
That part is true, yes. But think about this. When Jarrett Stidham was the Raiders quarterback back in 2023, he played well against the San Francisco 49ers, who would go on to play in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs that season. Josh McDaniels was I believe, the head coach for the Raiders. And when Stidham was a free agent, Sean Payton wanted him in Denver.
Oh, that's the first thing Sean Payton did, even before they had Russell Wilson. The first move he ever made when he got to Denver was sign Jarrett Stidham.
Exactly my point. So, everybody writing off the Broncos because, oh no, they have to go to Jarrett Stidham and he only has a week. I'm not writing off the Denver Broncos. And think about this. Do you know this is part 3 in their trilogy for the Broncos and Patriots?
Well, I know what part 2 was. What was part 1?
The 2013 AFC Championship.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you.
And ironically, all 3 games have been in Denver. Of course, the first 2 were Manning against Brady. Denver won both games. So do I think that's going to play a factor into this game? No, because Brady and Manning are not involved. But I do think that's a little bit of a storyline that nobody's really talking about. Granted, again, nobody from either of those teams is on the current teams. I get it. But still, the fact that Denver is up 2-0, I think plays into it.
This game comes down to one thing. It's not about the quarterbacks. It's not about the receivers. It's not about the defensive backs. It's not about the running backs. It's not the linebackers. It comes down to one matchup. It comes down to the Patriots offensive line versus the Denver defensive line and vice versa. I think New England's offensive line has lucked out. Let's be honest. I know Dan Orlowski said he apologized to C.J. Stroud when he said 31 other quarterbacks going to beat New England on Sunday. Dan, you didn't have to apologize. You're right on that statement because If the Texans just don't turn the ball over 2 or 3 out of the 6 times they did, I do believe they win on Sunday because New England did not play that well. Drake Maye made an incredible throw to Keyshawn Boutte that sealed the game, but the Texans defensive line, they got 5 sacks. I talked about it in our last show. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson against Will Campbell. It ended up being a major problem for New England that they dodged. And I think that, hold on 1 second. The Patriots this postseason have played the Chargers offensive line banged up, as we know, watch both their tackles. Texans offensive line, some of the worst tackle situations in the NFL. That's how they've been able to get their pressure. Denver with Bowles, and I forget the name of the right tackle, but they have 2 of the top 10 tackles in the NFL. It's a very different matchup. And if they don't get pressure on Jarrett Stidham and they let him have time, I think New England could be in some trouble. Go ahead. I apologize.
Okay. So think back to week 8. I know the Patriots went on to absolutely destroy the Cleveland Browns. I understand that. Forget the score for a second. How did Myles Garrett do in that game against
the same number that I just mentioned that the Chargers and the Texans both got in the Patriots, 5 sacks.
And Myles Garrett did that single-handedly against the Patriots. And now you have one of the best defensive units coming after Drake Maye.
And remember earlier in the year when I kept telling you, when you were like, I believe in this Patriots team. I think they are a Super Bowl caliber team. And I think you've been more right on them than I have. Because I said, I don't know. I said, I don't even know if they can beat out Buffalo in the division because I didn't trust the offensive line long term. Because I kept saying, yeah, they're winning games. But Drake Maye, I remember I kept coming on this show week after week telling you, I think Drake Maye might end up hurt because he's getting hit almost every play he tries back to pass.
No, you're 100% right. By the way, Stephon Diggs, we talked about how his absence has definitely made an impact in Buffalo. His addition in New England has made a huge difference for Drake Maye.
Well, we talked about it going into the Texans game. Derek Stingley would mostly take him away, which he did. Boutte and Douglas stepped up. Patrick Surtain's going to be on him the whole game. So they got to figure out ways to get Boutte and Douglas the ball again. I think Douglas in the slot could have a big game, actually.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I could see this being a lower scoring game, like a 16-13 type of game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like 20-13. Like, I don't know. Denver, I think that they're going to start off fast. If you want to pick a side, I would say either tie or Denver leads at the end of the first quarter. I've already bet Drake Maye's under for passing yards in the first quarter, which is 52.5. Because I do think New England's going to get off to a slow start. The second half is going to be, I mean, if Vrabel and them figure out some scheme to get pressure on Jarrett Stidham, there is a world out there where this does become a rout by the end of the game. You know, New England keeps hammering Denver, pounding away, body blow. And Jarrett Stidham's is bad, and Denver can't move the ball, and New England just gets their turnovers, and they take advantage of it.
I'd like to see Denver really get back to establishing the run game. That's why you brought in RJ Harvey. You've got Jaleel McLaughlin, both in the backfield. If you can really establish that run game, that's going to allow Jarrett Stidham to settle in faster, and you can open up the passing game. I know I've been saying that a lot through these playoffs, and I feel like for the most part, that's been true about whoever has won these games.
I actually disagree with you. First play, if I'm Denver, you may think this is nuts. I'm coming on an empty formation.
Really?
I am getting Jarrett Stidham throwing early so that New England believes he can throw. Because New England's going to stack the box. If they come out under center, I-form, if I'm New England, I'm putting that in the box. I'm saying, go ahead, run the ball. You got to come out and empty so you can get New England to show their hand on defense. Because when you're spread out like that, the defense is hard for them to disguise. They can't really do a lot of tricky things. And get Stidham in rhythm early, maybe even go tempo. He's been in the system for 3 years. Get his rhythm going early and get his confidence going early with short, quick pass completions. And if you go tempo early, you're going to slow down that New England pass rush.
I wonder what type of film the Patriots are watching because I don't think
I would watch the same film with Bo Nix because I think the offense is going to run exactly the same. I really do. I don't think Peyton's going to change anything.
Yeah, but you have to prepare for what type of quarterback Jarrett Stidham is.
Okay, well, Jarrett Stidham is Bo Nix without the athleticism. That's what he is.
So Josh McDaniels should know Jarrett Stidham pretty well because he coached him in Vegas.
Yeah, sometimes that helps, though. Sometimes it doesn't.